This video was digitized from silent 8mm film, and it's of German Kriegsmarine soldiers in what I believe is Toulon, France, in either late 1942, but probably uh, 1943. I have two other videos, uh, which I'll link below, one of Kriegsmarine soldiers in Toulon and also the scuttling of the French fleet in Toulon. And uh, yeah, as you can see here, these uh, these soldiers look pretty well at home. So I would think that it's probably more towards 1943, since the they didn't take control of Toulon until late 1942, and then it was taken back by the American and French in 44. I usually just go ahead and put some background music uh, in after I give my opening introduction. But since this is a special video about the German Kriegsmarine in World War II, I'm going to go ahead and comment throughout the video. But yeah, there may be some dead spots where I'm not speaking. But it's right now they're getting in. The Germans are getting into moving some as you can see, some beds and furniture out of this uh, this building. And you'll see towards the end of this video, they're probably taking all of this and moving it into a huge barracks, which it looks like they're housing uh, French sailors, probably from uh, the fleet that was scuttled there in the French fleet that was scuttled there in Toulon. Yeah, and unfortunately, because this film is so old, from 1942 or 1943, it does hop around a bit. I've tried to edit it the best I can to keep it from doing that, but it will move around a little bit just because of its age. And as you can see here, these the vehicles, uh, uh, you can tell that these are Kriegsmarine soldiers because the license plate starts with WM, which indicates Kriegsmarine. And they were out of the command of the North Sea, out of Wilhelm's II. I wonder when I watch these videos and see close-ups like this Kriegsmarine soldier, if they made it through the war. And then here you can see obviously a motor pool, and it appears to me that they're getting inspected. It seems like there's some officers there, and the enlisted with their vehicles, and these officers are going around and performing. It looks like maintenance inspections. I also think it's pretty interesting and a little humorous that this officer's walking around doing the inspection with this cigar hanging out of his mouth. I mean, in my 25 years in the military, I don't think I ever went through an inspection with someone with a cigar hanging out of their mouth. I try to do some research on those identifying markings on the vehicle, uh, the circle with the black upside down triangle on them that you see on the fenders. And I know in the U.S. military that that would probably identify a division, uh, and so I assume it would be the same thing in the Kriegsmarine in the German army. But uh, I couldn't come up with anything. So if you know what that may identify, can you drop a comment? I would assume that's a Walters P-38, which was a standard German issue pistol during World War II that these you see these officers carrying. You can see from this footage in the motor pool, I'm not sure if these are German made or French made vehicles, but everything looks well maintained. And in 1943, this was uh, basically the height of the Kriegsmarine and the German army and the Luftwaffe in Europe. I mean, this is just before the D-Day invasion, probably 7, 8 months before that. Uh, I think this and the other videos I have, which, like I mentioned, I'd link below, were taken sometime probably in the fall or winter of 1943. So, soon after this this footage, you would have had the D-Day invasion, and probably at this point in 1943, the Kriegsmarine, most of their vessels were blockaded in, and they weren't really a power on the water except for their U-boats. And this is a view of the Bay of Toulon, and where the French fleet was scuttled to prevent them from falling into German hands. And I have a really good video, as I mentioned, here on my channel, which I'll link below. Here you can see just in front of the house, halfway between the house and the shoreline right there is a pretty heavy gun, probably maybe anti-aircraft or uh, some shore defense. I have noticed throughout this video, and even in my previous uh, videos that I have of the Kriegsmarine here in Toulon, I don't see a lot of uh, these men carrying any, heavy weapons or semi-automatic, weapons, just pistols. So they must feel pretty safe here in Toulon. This is what I was talking about earlier in the video when, there's Kriegsmarine soldiers, sailors were, moving all of those beds and furniture out of that building. You can see here they're definitely moving a large amount of what appears to me to be French sailors into this big, huge building or barracks. And I can only assume that these were the the French or some of the French sailors that uh, were, assigned to the ships there in the Bay of Toulon that were sunk or scuttled to prevent capture by the Germans. So, uh, you I just assume that that's who these French sailors are. I hope you enjoyed this piece of history and uh, like and subscribe if you'd like to see more military and patriotic videos, which I try to upload every other day on my site. And if you're interested in a good read, check out my books at www.edsemler.com.